Welcome to Marketing Edge on TV, Nigeria's leading initiative in the business of brand management and in the management of brand business. It is a 30-minute awesome package that comprises brand news, branding focus, and industry conversation, all in a mix encompassing thorough and in-depth analysis aimed at promoting the brand idea. I am Oluwabukola Omoni.
Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the brand idea.
Faster Marketing Edge on TV is brand news, where we bring you the latest development around brands and on the field of marketing, advertising and communications in Nigeria and around the world. Now on brand news. Insight Publicis, a prominent creative force in Africa, has officially appointed Dolapo Ogunbambo, a distinguished figure in marketing communications and innovation consultancy, as its chief operating officer. In his newfound role, Dolapo will leverage his expertise in general management, organizational leadership, and client relations to spearhead the commercial and technical functions of the agency, providing crucial direction and leadership. Before ascending to this role, he served as the acting chief operating officer and business director at the company. Dolapo's professional journey also includes a tenure at Starcom Media Perspective as business director, strategy and innovation. He led successful bid processes for advertising accounts with notable brands such as Kraft Heinz Nigeria, Visa West Africa, Modelis Nigeria, FCB Escola Lagos, Duracell Nigeria, and World Bank Lightning Africa. Dolapo's skill set spans various domains, including business strategy, coaching and mentoring, organizational leadership, resource management, and cross-functional team leadership. Educationally, Dolapo Ogunbambo holds a master's degree in managerial psychology from the University of Lagos, complemented by a bachelor's of science in biochemistry from the University of Ibadan. Additionally, he has earned a certification in senior management from Lagos Business School, Pan-Atlantic University. Ahead of its scheduled enforcement in 2024, the Nigeria Data Protection Commission NDPC has issued a code of conduct for data protection compliance organizations to ensure professionalism in their role of protecting data. Stating this at a virtual event while issuing the code of conduct, Dr. Vincent Olatunji, the National Commissioner of NDPC, said it is in line with the Commission's vision in promoting ethical principles and also providing the groundwork for a preemptive warning for those in charge of data. He harped on the urgent need for the protection organization to live up to its role as a watchdog, while viewing it as a public trust which must be guarded with utmost sense of responsibility. The Commissioner noted that the NDPA 2023 under Section 33 mandates the Commission to license persons having a requisite level of expertise. A quarterly economic report has revealed a steady increase in consumer credit, which has risen by 32% to 3.05 trillion naira in the 9 months to September 2023, from 2.31 trillion naira at the end of December 2022. This revelation was made by the Central Bank of Nigeria in its quarterly economic report on consumers. In its analysis, the consumer credit grew by 1.7% to 2.35 trillion naira in the first quarter of 2023, from 2.31 trillion as at December ending 2022. It stated that the credit further rose by 10.6% to 2.6 trillion naira in the second quarter of 2023 and again by 17% to 3.05 trillion naira in the third quarter of 2023. In its review of growth in consumer credit in the third quarter of 2023, CBN noted that personal loans continue to account for the largest share, which is 74.8%, while retail loans accounted for the balance, which is 25.2% of consumer credit during the period. It further noted that the consumer credit outstanding increase is attributable to the need to cope with relative increase in the cost of living. with a projected value of $16,652,680 by 2028 and a robust compound annual growth rate of 13.9% during the focused period. The fintech industry is set to revolutionize the financial landscape. This, according to PR Newswire, is an indication that fintech companies are anticipated to play a pivotal role in providing accessible and convenient banking services to the unbanked and underbanked populations. Revealing the growth rate of fintech in Nigeria, the country's total market share rose to 32% in 2023 from 25% in 2021 and 20.6% in 2019. In terms of the market share of fintechs in Nigeria, there is a clear evidence that Nigeria is home to 32% of Africa's fintech market, with 217 companies, which is the largest concentration of fintechs on the continent. Also stating the size of the digital payment market in Nigeria, it said the colossal growth in digital payment is arguably the most notable bright spot in Nigeria's digital economy. These new developments are being driven by factors such as debit cards, point-of-sale devices, ATMs, and mobile financial apps, adding that Nigerians moved $613 billion in digital value in 2022, more than the combined GDP of Algeria, Morocco, Ethiopia, and Kenya. That was brand news. Next is Brand in Focus after this break.
Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the bright idea.
Now on Brand in Focus. Year 2023 may have come and gone, yet its memories shall continue to linger for a while in the minds of players and gladiators in the Nigerian integrated marketing communications sector. Indeed, the outgone year may be a mixed bag sort of, yet it remains unforgettable in the annals of brand management and the management of brand business in the country. In this special edition, we will be bringing you memorable highlights on some of the interesting events that made bold headlines in the outgone year in the IMC space. One of the major highlights on our list of the event in the integrated marketing communications market in 2023 is the Edge Awards by Marketing Edge, Nigeria's foremost brand-centric publication, who unveiled its 20th anniversary logo and also held its 2023 National Marketing Summit, as well as its most coveted Brands and Advertising Excellence Awards in Lagos. It was a year marked with various industry awards, as Out of Home Academy held its inaugural edition of the Location Marketing Awards and Summit. LOMA's primary objective is to recognize and honor outstanding individuals and out-of-home companies that have contributed significantly to the industry growth year after year. The Experiential Marketing Association of Nigeria, EXMAN, in commemoration of its 10th anniversary, unveiled a new logo. The association also held its annual general meeting and its Brand Experience Summit and Awards, where it elected two trailblazing women, Tolulope Medebem and Angela Makinwa, as president and vice presidents respectively, alongside other executive members. In a similar vein, the Out of Home Advertising Association of Nigeria, OAN, also held a 38th annual general meeting themed The Economic Outlook in a Transition Year, held in Asaba, the Delta State capital. The AGM witnessed the emergence of Shola Akinsiko, the immediate past General Secretary of the association, as president, and Omo Kingsley Abunana, who is formerly an ex-officio, as the vice president, with other executive members. To make the end of the year more remarkable for the industry, the Advertising Regulatory Council of Nigeria, ACON, held its National Advertising Conference 2023 in Abuja, with practitioners identifying myriads of issues and challenges bedeviling the Nigerian marketing and advertising ecosystem, with unanimous views on need for collaborative and all-inclusive action. A major focal point of the conference was the exploration of the industry's role in shaping and presenting the brand identity of Nigeria. The media buying and planning space was not left out of the busy annual event as the Media Independence Practitioner Association of Nigeria, MIPAN, hosted its second edition of President's Dinner and Awards. Ronan Redmond, the commercial director at TVC Communications, was recognized for his exceptional contribution to the Nigerian media advertising landscape. Marketing Edge was again honored as the best supporter of PR at the Lagos Public Relations Industry Gala and Awards, La Priga 2023, alongside its reporter, Ibido Banjoko, who was also recognized as PR Journalist of the Year. These and many more were some of the remarkable events witnessed in the IMC space in the just concluded 2023, and we look forward to more interesting and eventful 2024. And that was Brand in Focus. Next is Industry Conversation, where we have discussions with industry thought leaders who have distinguished themselves in the business of brand management and in the management of brand business. Today we're going to be speaking with the Managing Director of Precise Platform, Mr. BOLAJI OKUSAGA, just after this break.
Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the brand idea.
Thank you again for joining us on Industry Conversation, where we have conversations and interactions with industry thought leaders who have distinguished themselves in the business of brand management and in the management of brand business. Today we're going to be speaking with the Managing Director of Precise Platform, an agency set up to serve the quality communications of brands and businesses, Mr. BOLAJI OKUSAGA. Glad to have you join us on the conversation, sir. BOLAJI OKUSAGA is one of the leading voices in the Nigeria marketing and communications industry. He is a marketing strategist and currently the managing consultant Precise Platform. An agency is set up in 2018 to serve the needs of brands, businesses, causes, and communities with quality and strategic communications. He is a business leader with years of extensive experience across various sectors. BOLAJI has worked on leading brands across a wide range of industries and sectors where he has leveraged his strategy skills to reposition and build unique brand architecture for clients. Okay, so I wanted to ask you or your assessment of the Nigerian marketing and advertising environment.
It's pretty much what it is. The economy at this point is going through some form of turmoil right now, and it's not just the Nigerian economy, it's the global economy, and to that extent the Nigerian economy is not spared. However, what is wrong with Nigeria is the fact that we're really not planning to withstand the headwind. We're rather more like flowing with the wind, so wherever it's leading us is where we get to. What with the fact that energy costs are rising, the economy is so dollarized that whatever happens in terms of exchange rates, the naira to the dollar affects all of us, from the fuel we buy to the fact that our economy is so import-based, and to the fact that you have also even floated the dollar right now. I'm not saying it's a bad policy, but I'm saying the impact of it currently has a very big effect on the economy in terms of inflation, in terms of dwindling consumer spend. Back to the real key thing, which is dwindling consumer spend. If the consumers aren't spending so much, it follows then that the market space will actually be shrinking. So if you look at the numbers against what you had in this, in the same time last year, you find that we're really not there in terms of growth. So growth is not on the table, and if growth is not on the table, marketing as a discipline will be affected, because we help to serve, the purpose of growth within an economy. So where the market appears to be shrinking, the first thing that business people will consider, I'm not saying that's the right thing, is usually, cost. And part of their cost will be their marketing spend. So they'll try to get more effective doing the same thing with much more reduced costs. And that has an implication for the growth of the marketing communication sector. So right now, I'm not quite sure that things are looking good.
Your company is all about telling inspiring stories. Now, so tell us how, what transformative approach are you taking, with technology to tell more inspiring stories?
Well, stories, there will always be stories because stories inspire, right? Stories, help open up possibilities within, the so-called, conversation economy. So, nothing can move or nothing sells without having a conversation. So it's either the consumers themselves are having a conversation, and then as a consequence of that conversation, the product that suits their need will arrive. Or it is that the producer is also having a conversation with the market to see where are the opportunities, where are the gaps. And then the gap appears, and then it is plugged with a product to a solution, right? So we exist in that conversation economy. And if you take it that we exist in a conversation economy, it means that the avenue of possibilities within that conversation economy is storytelling. So if I consistently tell you I'm a champion, senses, I fight one or two fights and I beat my opponents, and I keep harping on the fact that I'm a champion, the perception is formed already. He's a champion. Show me the proof he's a champion. He's beating this, he's beating that. So, but if I fight 1,000 and I beat 1,000, and all I do is do it in the dark, even if those were lions and Goliaths, right? Nobody will take me for real. And therefore,
nobody knows you're a champion.
So, and if I don't get to be known as a champion, then even if I claim I'm a champion, I'm only telling that to myself and not to the world. So to that extent, what technology does is that it allows you to be able to reach a mass of audiences that are customized to that solution. So it is not as if there are no mass audiences, but the audiences are now so segmented and stratified that you can talk to the specific audience you need. So if I design a product for the urban elite woman whose life is fast-paced, who enjoys eating on the go, and I design a snacking solution for her, I understand her journey. I understand the reason why she has the lifestyle she has, and I am meeting her need. But I need to tell a story around that need so that she can see herself in the story, and she can then begin to see the solution to some of the dark spots of her lifestyle in the solution I bring to the table. And that's what technology enables you to do. It enables you to be able to point your finger at a cluster of those kind of people. If I design a solution for the sporty youth who's so health conscious and wants to body build and generally get on the health consciousness vehicle, and all I'm offering to that person is sugar, I'm selling the wrong solution. But if I want to sell to happy-go-lucky people who don't care about dieting, who don't care about it, if I tell them about a solution that is purely not about health but about enjoyment, about ecstasy, then I'm talking to the right audience.
Great.
So it's nothing is absolute. It's a question of understanding who you are talking to and what their buying behaviors are and the reason for their buying behaviors. And that's what technology allows you to do. It stores up information that enables you to predict outcomes better than if you were just doing it purely based on creativity and on intuition.
What do you think is the future of AI in PR, and would you say Nigerian professionals are par with, their colleagues all over the world?
AI is here to stay. I mean, it's the same way when people ask, what do you say about people sitting in a room and looking at a box called the television? Some 100 years ago, it would have been unimaginable. Today, we don't even take note of some of these developments anymore. Now, AI, artificial intelligence, has evolved over the years to being able to do so much, from telemedicine to even, predicting commercial outcomes, working, in certain spaces, to helping supply chain, to helping in medical sciences, and digital communication. Now, we have seen productions that are totally backed by AI. AI-backed music, we are going to start seeing animatics and video production that are purely AI-backed, so that it starts to take out the role of the producer, the role of the editor, because it is definitely going to be a reiteration of what happens in the real world anyway that AI does, you know, from an artificial perspective, from a machine perspective. So certainly AI is going to have total influence in the way PR campaigns are managed and in the way those campaigns are evaluated.
Okay, great. So how would you assess the issue of low capacity utilization and capacity building amongst younger generation of, you know, PR practitioners?
I don't understand what you call low capacity utilization, because it's not particularly as if it's an industry that has installed physical capacity. Okay. No, on the contrary, what is palpable is that once the macroeconomy has a problem, it definitely would cascade down to the different sectors of the economy. So were you to ask me where is growth coming from right now, I'll say, well, I'm really at a loss, because I'm not quite sure that the so-called owners of the platforms upon which most technologies are deployed, which is the telecom, the providers, are actually making more money than they are making in the past. One, the operating input cost is soaring, and they're not able to pass the cost across to the consumer. So what then that means is that their revenues begin to shrink. And if that continues, then it means that, you know, it will have impact on marketing, will have impact on PR, and all of that. So everything is linked. And you know what they call a chain reaction. You snap this, and it begins to affect the others gradually. Okay,
great. So how would you describe the relationship between agencies and clients nowadays in this climate?
Clients are now much more, they are less loyal than they used to be. Now, in terms of retention cycle, it is not as long as it used to be. Gone are the days when a Nigerian breweries will stay within sites communication for over 30 years. Okay. I'm not quite sure that any agency will be that lucky going into the future, because the clients are just all shopping for value this time around. They're not looking at age-old relationships. So, to that extent, the dynamics of relationship between the agencies and clients are changing. It's become more transaction-based than relationship-based. Is it a good thing? I am not quite sure it is. What it just shows is that the attention span of the client is becoming shorter and shorter and shorter. And his patience for mediocrity is also becoming shorter and shorter. So you try today, you fail tomorrow. Nobody thinks about how well you did yesterday. You're out. Unlike in the days of the past when relationship drove most of these outcomes.
Okay, great. So I want to ask you for your expectations and projections for the PR sector under this new administration.
Well, I reckon that if this new administration is actually working its talk, it holds to create a free market economy. In a free market economy, more private sector players take initiatives that are driven by marketing. Okay. So to that extent, we may see growth for the marketing industry. Now, we also see that even though we're at a point of economic turmoil, if they're able to get right the strategy and they stay consistent, then they will refocus the economy, and the consequence therefrom will be prosperity, you know. And if prosperity were on the table, it means that marketing too will also prosper. So ultimately, I see what is happening in the midterm has been in all of our favors, but in the short term has been a total disincentive to marketing, given the shrinking revenues of our clients. But I do believe that nothing lasts forever. So we're believing that after this darkness will come a glorious sunshine.
Okay, great. So tell us about the corporate philosophy of your agency.
Well, we hold three things there, and they call it the 3 C's, where we talk about curiosity, creativity, and so if we're confident about the moves we're making, okay, and those moves are in themselves creative, then it follows then that we will consistently innovate, okay, because we're driven first by what we're curious about what the market needs, and then we deliver it confidently, and ultimately the gains will come. That's at the center and at the core of our philosophy. We believe that the best time to plant a tree was yesterday. The next best time to plant a tree is now. Never stop innovating, even when you seem to be comfortable. You need to consistently disrupt your space. It's called creative destruction. So that before you die, you have renewed yourself over and over and over and over again. So the business keeps being so future-oriented that it is insulated from the dangers coming in the future.
And talking about the future, where do you see Market NG in the next 5, 10, 20 years?
I believe that Market NG's revenues will more than quadruple whatever it is that Precise platform is doing. Yeah. And there's no gainsaying that if we do it very well, it's in sync with the mood of the moment. We see that technology has disrupted other industries. So why not marketing? And if there are already market technologies that are already changing the way marketing is done, I already showed you some of those examples in my earlier presentation, then it follows then that if only players within the marketing space who understands the demands of the changes happening within that space are able to jump on the technology bandwagon, they will be in the best interest of everyone. So the industry will expand, its relevance, and in terms of its revenue base, the expansion will come. And that will be prosperity for every player within the industry.
And so we have been speaking with the Managing Director of Precise Platform. See you same time next week. I am Oluwabukola Omani.
There is always more to a story than the screaming headline. The part of a story that is not told casts a shadow. It's like the part of an object that is not reached by light. On TVC News, I'm able to explore the many angles there are to a story, talking to stakeholders, asking the difficult questions, and digging for facts. I believe the viewers are able to make a better decision if they're well informed and understand not just a part, but the complete story. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Rolihlahla Mandela was born into the Madiba clan on 18th July 1918. He got involved in politics in 1942 as he helped to form ANC Youth League. He was married to Evelyn Mays and they had 4 children. Mandela was arrested in a countrywide police swoop on 5th December 1956, which led to the 1956 treason trial. Before the end of the treason trial, he wrote to Prime Minister for vote to include a national convention on a non-racial constitution, and failure to adhere would result to a national strike. In August, he was arrested and charged for leaving the country without a permit and inciting workers to strike. He was convicted and sentenced to 5 years imprisonment. On 9th of October 1963, he was on trial with 10 others for sabotage in what became known as the Revolver trial. On the 11th of June 1964, Mandela and 7 other accused were convicted and sentenced to life imprisonment. He was later released from its gates on Sunday, 11th of February 1990, 9 days after the unbanning of the ANC and the PAC. Nelson Mandela never wavered in his devotion to democracy, equality, and learning as he immersed himself in official talks to end white minority rule. In 1991, he was elected ANC president to replace his ailing friend, Oliver Tambo. In 1993, he and President F.W. de Klerk jointly won the Nobel Peace Prize, and on 27 April 1994, he voted for the first time in his life. On 10th May, he was inaugurated as South Africa's first democratically elected president. He, however, stepped down in 1999 after 1 term as president. Despite terrible provocation, he never answered racism with racism. His life is an inspiration to all who were oppressed and deprived, and to all who were opposed to oppression and deprivation. He died at his home in Johannesburg on 5th December 2013.
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News.